You know, it's never a good sign if your movie requires 50 seconds of narration at the beginning for it to make any sense at all. Hi, I'm Zach, and welcome to Not Great, Not Terrible, the show where we review mediocre movies from the not-so-distant past. Today, we're taking a look at the movie Mortal Engines, one of the biggest box office bombs of the past decade. It came out in 2018 to thoroughly mixed reviews and lost in the ballpark of $170 million. But why did it flop so hard? Well, that's what we're looking at today. So the movie starts out with a rather spectacular chase scene. I'll give it this is probably the best scene of the movie. Don't worry, it all goes downhill from here. We're then introduced to some characters. We've got Tom, the flyboy turned junk collector, we've got Hester, the girl with the serious Inigo Montoya complex, and we've got a bunch of guys whose names I've already forgotten, even though I just watched the film. There's the bad dude's daughter, this cyborg bad dude, this bad dude who tried to sell him into slavery, this good chick with matrix glasses, and these various other good and bad characters whose faces I can barely remember. There's just way too many people in this film to keep track of. Anyways, the chase. The small city gets gobbled, Hester does some failed stabbery, more plot happens including some running and dodging CG chainsaws. Surprise twist, Valentine is a baddie and he killed Hester's mom. Hester falls out of London's poop chute, Tom gets pushed after her by the baddie, and like it or not, these two characters who have never met each other in their lives are forced to do bonding. Lovely. But the fun doesn't stop there. They're rescued from scavenger towns by slavers, matrix glasses shows up and blows someone's head off, as you do, and oh, there's a side plot with the cyborg dude who apparently has some relationship with Hester. Cyborg dude tries to kill them a couple of times, and London is off to blow up a big wall for some reason. So plot happens, then more plot, and eventually everyone's in the same place for an epic battle between a city and a wall. Of course Hester's the f***ing USB drive that'll save the world in her pocket, so they go and save the world. Some people we vaguely care about die. Surprise twist, Valentine is Hester's dad, but he's dead now, so that doesn't matter. Wall goes partially kaplooey, London goes partially kaplooey, but in the end, everyone lives happily ever after, and the main characters like each other now. Holy shit, that was a lot of half-cooked plot spaghetti. What Mortal Engines really is a middling movie that's had a shitload of money spent on it. Seriously, they blew over $250 million on this turd. Sure, the resulting visual effects are spectacular, but there's not nearly enough story or character development to support it. The movie itself is about as coherent as those last two paragraphs of my summary, and about as in-depth. The story is perpetually leaving you with questions like, what the f*** is a fusion inverter cell? Who the f*** is Quark? What the f*** is an anti-tractionist? And why the f*** are they going to Kazakhstan? The list goes on and on. Now, I actually do know the answers to most of these, but that's only because I've read the books. A normal person just sitting in the theater is just going to be hella confused, especially if they missed that minute of intro narration from earlier. And that's where Mortal Engines falls apart. Just because a movie has a big budget, that doesn't automatically make it good. I've seen movies with tiny budgets that were fantastic, but I've also seen movies with huge budgets that were pretty crap. And Mortal Engines is definitely in that last group. This is really kind of unfortunate. The source material is fairly good, and it definitely had potential. Honestly, this could have made a solid Netflix series, but that didn't happen, and instead we got Mortal Engines, the box office flop. One last side note. The whole premise of this movie is f***ing stupid. As an engineer, I can summarize the idea of these massive moving cities in one word. No. I ran some numbers on the physics of this, and to accelerate an object the size of London in the film, you need somewhere in the ballpark of 50 million horsepower. This would be like combining the engines from every single Toyota Corolla sold in North America last year into one massive machine. It's just bonkers. And there's another problem. All of this is powered by steam and coal. You'd be chewing 1 million tons a day of coal just to move. It's frankly ludicrous. So do I recommend you watch Mortal Engines? I mean, yeah, maybe. This movie is the definition of not great, not terrible. It's got some pretty good bits, some rather crap bits, and averages out to a solid meh. This movie sort of inspired me to start these reviews. It was actually planned to be the first review, but got pushed back due to how shockingly crap Ice Age was. But here we are. Anyways, I've been Zach. This has been Not Great, Not Terrible. Thank you very much for watching. Welcome to Not Great, Not Terrible, the show where we review mediocre movies. So close. And welcome to Not Great, Not Terrible, the show where Wall goes partially kerplooey, London goes partially kerplooey. That's hard to say. Okay. I've also seen movies with